runners of both championships, so that should make for some exciting racing. Hope you enjoy the show. Getting that first season win under your belt is always a milestone, and that is exactly what Richard Morgan did yesterday. We caught up with him to see how he's feeling.
Absolutely over the moon. I can't believe it. It just seems like a dream come true. Weather was horrible, it was wet. I don't like the wet, and I got away to start with, and that was it. I just waited for the last lap to come, which took a long, long time.
Now, looking ahead to race 2 today, how are you feeling?
The weather's very changeable at the minute. The sun's out, but the track's still very wet. We're going to run on wet, so I don't think it's going to dry out before we get to race. So, fingers crossed, I'm starting from pole, and it'll all go well.
And then, no, of course. And then looking forward to the rest of the season. We've won one more weekend after this. Are you on pace?
Hopefully, yes. It all seems to be going well at the moment. Mark's done a really good job getting all the cars set up. So, fingers crossed, it's going to be a good end to the season.
James Dowding, after a brilliant win yesterday, you took your 5th win in a row. Looking forward to the next race?
Yes, definitely, yeah. Next race should be good. Hopefully got a good setup for the car. Starting on pole for Class B, 14th in the pack. Hoping it's not going to be too difficult off the line. I'm hoping the Class A guys will go away. I would just want to concentrate on getting some clear air between me and Class B, and I'm hoping for a nice clean race.
It was a really wet race yesterday here at Brands Hatch, but Richard Morgan won his first race of the season, giving him pole position for today's race. James Dowding is up on pole position for Class B. Could this be his 3rd double win in a row? Let's see.
Well, the conditions looking very, very ominous here. No Paul Taylor there, where he should have been 7th on the grid, but the front row is there. Richard Morgan and Andy Thompson. Thompson is New Toledo. Then row 2 is Stuart Lyons and Martin Cully. Josh Cahill, front runner this season, starts in 5th, and away we go. So super get away from Cahill. The front row off very, very slowly, and Stuart Lyons tries to squeeze between them. Contact between Thompson and Lyons, and also contact between Ken Lark and Martin Cully, and Cully's Beetle slews across the grass. Ken Lark also taking evasive action than Silver Corrado as they plunge through Paddock Hill Bend, then Clark Hailwood Hill. It's yesterday's winner, Richard Morgan, who leads the way from Josh Cahill. Then it's Tony Absalom, Randy Thompson, and Stuart Lyons in trouble. I think he pulls off the road. He comes under contact from James Dowding, and that could jeopardise Dowding's Class B lead, as the race lead is already out of Graham Hill Bend. It's Morgan from Cahill, then Tony Absalom from Andy Thompson. So then Simpson well up in these early exchanges. Here is the battle for the leader Class B between Rob Allam and James Dowding. They're under pressure as well from Simon Tomlinson, number 14. It's Tomlinson, the blue car, who sides through, but Tomlinson running in Class A, and therefore, as we were hearing from James Dowding earlier on, not really of a concern for Dowding. Down Pilgrim's Drop, and Richard Morgan leading the way for Josh Cahill. The challenge, though, coming for 3rd, and it's Andy Thompson, who looks the inside of Tony Absalom and goes through. Well, you'd expect Andy to go well here at Brands Hatch. He's raced here for many seasons in the Faith Motorsport New Saloon Car Championship. That was in the Seat Leon Cupra car. He's making the Toledo work equally well for him. He's got a bit of ground, though, to make up on Josh Cahill. Then 4th place is the goal for Tony Absalom. In 5th is Len Simpson. Great to see Len going well as the rain really coming down. We saw during Alexandra's grid walk that it was looking a little bit ominous over her shoulder, and unfortunately that rain has arrived, and arrived fairly emphatically. In car there with Nick Sanson for the start. The red lights flash out and away we go. It's all a little bit treacherous, trying to get the power down, finding the grip. It gets very, very congested up in front of us. You can see the brake lights coming on far too early, which would suggest contact. Sanson gets right out the throttle, decides discretion is the better part of valour, avoids all trouble. Have a look at it then, and really it's Richard Morgan and Andy Thompson get away poorly. Stuart Lyons goes for a gap, which was there, suddenly wasn't. As he slowed, it meant that Barry Cully had nowhere to go but into Ken Lark. Contact all around. Fortunately, it didn't then lead to a chain reaction and more cars getting involved. Richard Morgan is having the weekend of weekends here in the Super Pro VAG Trophy at Brands Hatch, because he won yesterday and he's leading here. Josh Cahill, though, seeming to enjoy these wet conditions, coming back towards Richard Morgan at the moment as they plunge down through Paddock Hill Bend. And then climb uphill towards Druids. And this is the beauty of the Super Pro VAG Trophy, is that you've got cars from Volkswagen, Audi, Seat, really of all shapes and sizes. It gives you a very, very varied grid. It also gives you a grid whereby the performance characteristics do vary from car to car. And therefore, a car that works very well at the start of the race won't work so well at the end of the race, and the car maybe that doesn't go quite so well in the dry could really excel in the wet. So Richard Morgan leads the way. Josh Cagle, they're looking to challenge into Surtees, and he takes the lead away from Richard Morgan. Textbook manoeuvre, he finds the grip to the inside at Surtees and gains the place. Ken Lark recovering up through the field in pursuit of Simon Tomlinson. So Lark, evidently no damage to that car. Are we going to catch a glimpse of Paul Taylor from the back of the grid? Indeed we are. So Taylor is making good progress. He's in pursuit of Nick Sanderson as the place gained by Ken Lark round the outside of Simon Tomlinson into Graham Hill Bend, back into Class B. Not necessarily some of the drivers at the front of the class, but great battling nonetheless. It's Craig Mason who is about to be demoted by Harry Volkard. Volkard, who started from the pit lane, former World Touring Car Championship, British Touring Car Championship racer, very quick and feisty competitor. As turning into Sheen then, Richard Morgan now under pressure. Andy Thompson's the rain steadily worsens, and conditions at the start of the race that were best described as damp and treacherous have now become really wet and atrocious as this fine misty rain pours down all over Brands Hatch. As Cully comes under pressure there from Ken Lark. So Ken Lark looking to come on to terms with Barry Cully. Taylor also looking to stay with them. Taylor's had a fairly frustrating weekend, as the battle for second and third is really the one it's most likely to change. Josh Cagle leads the race. He's not really romping clear, but at the same time, he's also going to be mindful of the fact that he just needs to drive within himself here, not push any harder than he absolutely has to. Out of Druids into Graham Hill Bend, then the fight for second and third. Now we can see Andy Thompson maybe launching his way past Richard Morgan. Similar fashion, Harry Volkard has now made his way on past Andrew Aldridge. So there is Andrew, who is normally to be found right at the front of Class 1 in the Touch of Mojo Mark II Golf GTI Championship. He is enjoying this wet weather because it really acts as something as a performance leveller, and as a result, Andrew really being able to display his talent and using maybe the slightly gentler power delivery of the 8-valve car to be right up there with some of the quicker 16 valves. In the meantime, now it's the challenge that's going to come from Andy Thompson into Hawthorne. He dives to the inside of Richard Morgan, gains the position. So up into second place for Andy Thompson, and he's judged that absolutely perfectly. That said, for Richard Morgan, I think a win and a podium will do him very, very nicely this weekend in the Super Pro VAG Trophy. Swooping through Sheen then. Now what can Andy Thompson do maybe about closing on Josh Cagle? In the meantime, Andrew Aldridge under more pressure. That's Tom Witts, who is picking his way past him, or attempting to. Andrew Aldridge, though, breaking a lot deeper into Paddock Hill Bend. In Class B, by the way, it's James Dowding who leads the way at the moment. So Dowding looking as if he is going to make it 6 wins on the bounce in Class B. Nick Penfold is Andrew Aldridge's next target, provided he can withstand the efforts of Tom Witts. It's all a little bit treacherous. So there is James Dowding, as you can see, fairly comfortably in command in Class B. That's Nicholas Bosch just behind him. Nicholas, who is a Class A runner, and therefore no concern to James Dowding. Replay of Barry Cully looking to pick his way past Paul Taylor, and it would appear from that replay as if maybe the conditions aren't quite as bad as they were a few moments ago, as Taylor looking to fight back into Graham Hill Bend. Always able to find a little traction in his golf there, Paul Taylor, as Josh Cagle accelerating on down the Bradman Straight. The checker flag is ready and waiting. It's been a super performance this from Josh Cagle, and he takes the win on the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit in the Super Pro VAG Trophy. But still, plenty of battles to be sorted out. This one between Simon Tomlinson and Nick Sanderson for 10th position. It's James Dowding. He's 12th in the race overall at the moment, but more importantly for him, on course to make it 6 wins from 6 starts in Class B of the championship. So the Tomlinson and Sanderson battle, they sprint to the line, and it is going to be Simon Tomlinson who completes the top 10 in the Super Pro VAG Trophy. Richard Morgan celebrates 2 podium finishes this weekend. He wound up in 3rd. So we have a look then at the final classification. So victory for Josh Cagle, 2nd for Andy Thompson, and 3rd for Richard Morgan, from Tony Amsterdam and Len Simpson. James Dowding 12th, heading Class B from Mike Smith and James Andrew Aldridge, who we saw in thick of the action. Well, he completed the top 20. So a super day's racing as the drivers head onto the rostrum to celebrate the end of a really dramatic race.
Josh Cahill, fantastic win and good news for your championship as well.
Yeah, it's just what we needed. I'm conscious we needed a win, and luckily I was tricky conditions and it just paid off. So yeah, happy with that.
Tricky conditions, but you were, what, 3 seconds ahead?
Yeah, to be honest, I just wanted to get into front as soon as I could, and then I could sort of drive my own race and run my own lines and whatnot, which I could do. So once the gap was there, it was easy to sort of just maintain that really. I didn't want to be in a dice in these conditions. So.
James, third double win, what a result.
Yeah, it was a fantastic race. I was hoping the Class A guys would scamper off the line, but they had a real good coming together just before the first corner. They meant the pack backed up and the Class B boys could come back onto my bumper, and I was actually second for the first couple of corners and on the first lap, and the second lap came round and I just managed to get past Rob, and from then on it was just holding a gap and making sure they weren't going to catch up and hoping the Class A guys would scamper off again.
So in terms of the championship in Class B, it's very, very tight between Steve Rowland, Mike Smith and James Dowding. Rowland just 1 point clear of Smith. And in Class A, Josh Cahill leads the way, and that is a points total enough to give him leading the championship overall, with Paul Taylor currently second.
Well, that's it for part one here at the Lotus Festival at Brands Hatch, and fantastic wins there for Cahill and Dowding. Join us again after the break for the Touch of Mojo Mark II Golf GTI Championships.
Discover the Express Treatment Conditioner from Dove. The things we do to our hair can damage it. Dove combines an intense treatment with a daily conditioner. So in just 1 minute, your hair is beautifully smooth and strengthened every day. Dove Express Treatment Conditioner. Feel the difference.
If you're finding it tricky to get a bank loan, you may be a bit worried about some of the other options. An Amiga loan is different. A good idea from the good old days. You could borrow up to £5,000 over 1 to 5 years with a guarantor, and we'll make sure your repayments are affordable with a representative 49.9% APR variable. Just come to amigaloans.co.uk.
New for 2014. Fly direct to your P&O Cruises holiday with Thomas Cook in the Mediterranean from as little as £699 for 7 nights. Enjoy top-class entertainment, Michelin quality dining, plus the choice of exceptional benefits, including onboard spending money or airport car parking. Contact Thomas Cook, the UK's #1 agent for P&O Cruises. Call Thomas Cook now on 0800 916 6000 or visit cruisethomascook.com. Don't just book it, Thomas Cook it. Atoll protected.
This beautiful baby mountain gorilla might die today, like young Nguina did, trapped in a poacher's snare meant for other animals. She died frightened and in pain. Nguina was the second to die like this in a week, but when there are only around 880 left in the wild, every death is devastating. Please will you help us protect mountain gorillas by adopting one with WWF for just £3 a month today. We'll send you an exciting adoption pack showing you how essential your help is. The cuddly gorilla makes adoption a great gift. And 3 times a year you'll receive the latest news of our vital work. Adopting a mountain gorilla could help us train and equip rangers to destroy the vicious snares. Please call 0800 038 0913. Visit protectagorilla.com or text PROTECT11 to 78866 and adopt a mountain gorilla for just £3 a month. We simply must protect her today. Thank you.
Let us entertain you whatever the weather this October half-term. See what's on and book now at butlins.com or call 0800 222 555.
I've had an accident.
Get lost out the door.
Oh! But I deserve compensation. Right, I'm going to call National Accident Helpline. They've won money for more people than any other claims company.
Wait, let's just talk about it.
No, you just keep going round and round. Don't get treated like an underdog. Call National Accident Helpline on 0800 556 557 or go to underdog.co.uk.
The British Supermoto Championship Round 3, Saturday, September the 28th at 9 in the morning on Motors TV, the high-speed television channel. The final event of the British F3 Championship is at the Nürburgring. The title is on the line, with 8 full-season international class entrants in contention. Saturday, September the 28th at 11:05 in the morning.
The Mark II Golf GTI Championships is renowned for its friendly atmosphere, and new drivers are welcome at any time. Competing for the first time this weekend is Jason Tingle. Jason, why start the championship so late on?
Well, just due to me wanting to race next year in the championship, wanted to come and see a few tracks, and just get used to the car, ready for the start of next season.
So what's your history?
Starting in karting when I was about 10, for about 12 years. I've had a few years out of racing till yesterday. First time in the car yesterday, went really well. So got about fastest lap in the VAG in the class. So I think things are looking up for the golf race later.
And it's not just Jason Tingle who've joined us this weekend, but also Graham Johnson. Welcome to the championship.
Thank you very much.
What brings you to the Mark II Golf GTIs?
We've owned the car. A colleague of mine has owned the car now for about 2 years, and he's done a couple of races. And in fact, a friend of mine, Mike Robinson, did Spa last time out. So I thought I'd come and give it a go as well. It looks like fun.
And so what were you doing before you joined us?
Well, actually, this year I'm competing in Britcar with the aforementioned Mike Robinson. And before that, I've been doing Ginetta Cup, and before that, Caterham.